Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome to AdamMcKola TV. We are back for the preview. Manchester United against West Ham. Huge game for Manchester United. And as we speak, it would be a massive opportunity to make that gap a little bit bigger between those clubs in 4th and 5th. Chelsea dropping points today against Leeds United in a 0-0 draw, which means if we win, we could go 6 points clear of them. And West Ham are just below them as well with a couple of games in hand, but we could also stretch our lead over them, which would be vital going into the last 9 or so games in the Premier League campaign. We are in for a big game though at Old Trafford against West Ham. Obviously a team that are in great form this season under David Moyes. You know, they're in for a surprise shout of potentially getting top 4. Definitely in with a shout of getting Europa League football, which is a stretch considering a lot of people had them as some of the contenders to go down this season, including me, who predicted them to go down earlier on in the year. And obviously David Moyes has turned that around absolutely fantastically and have got a great balance in their team. Although in this game against Manchester United, they will be missing Jesse Lingard, who's there on loan. Excuse the sirens. Who's there on loan at West Ham. Obviously in great form, was a nominee for Player of the Month. A little bit of controversy about that. Did you see it? The votes were done by fans, and apparently Jesse Lingard got most votes, but Ilkay Gundogan still got awarded with the Player of the Month. A little bit dodgy, but Jesse Lingard's form has been absolutely fantastic, and he will be a big miss for them in this game. But they have got players that can step in, the likes of Ben Rama, who is also a fantastic footballer as well. And it's going to be an intriguing game at Old Trafford. It's going to be a test for Manchester United, and one that we have to rise to the challenge, and we have to do better than we have been doing in recent games. Although we obviously had that game against Manchester City where we won. Apart from that, that's our only win in the last 5 games, I think. Simply not good enough. Too many draws. Yes, we're keeping clean sheets, but we're not scoring enough goals. We're not creating enough chances, to be fair. You know, there's been a lot of talk about our strikers, Anthony Martial, Edinson Cavani, all these different guys. And unfortunately, we got injury worries as well around a lot of those players. But we haven't been creating chances for them when they have been playing in order to be able to score the goals. So we need to start creating chances a lot more in this game. And hopefully we'll have a few of those players back in the team as well. Let us know what you guys are thinking in the comments. I can see one from Cassim where he says Glazer is a putty, loving it. Benjamin says, I can't lie, I ain't confident about this game. Where's the creativity going to come from? We can't always depend on Bruno. And if you think back to the game against West Ham at their stadium earlier on in the season, we obviously played that game, and it was Paul Pogba who helped us win that match with a fantastic goal on the day. And you think, when Bruno wasn't stepping up with a performance in recent weeks, we've had the likes of Paul Pogba step up with his creativity, and we have missed Paul Pogba in the Manchester United team. But we still have to do better as a team in terms of creating chances, and we've just looked like we haven't. And in the games where we have gone into, you know, you'd expect us to create more. So yes, Paul Pogba has been a massive miss for Man United. That's not an excuse, is it, for not performing and not creating chances? So we have to do more of that. Hate the loan rule. Would have loved to see Jesse, says Spark. I disagree. He would have been a problem for Manchester United, to be totally honest with you. He's been in great form for them. He's helped, obviously, they were in good form before Jesse Lingard arrived, and it's really helped him settle because he's arrived there, and then, you know, they're playing good football. There's not a lot of pressure on their team at the moment. They were able to enjoy their game and look up rather than being worried about a relegation battle. And Jesse's been able to just fit in well. And I think, you know, I'm glad that he's not playing, to be totally honest with you, in this one. Kasim says, I'm excited for James or Amad Diallo to add balance to the right side. That could show us the best of Mason Greenwood up front. Obviously, a lot of talk about injuries in this game. Anthony Martial was brought off as a precaution in the game against AC Milan at half-time. We obviously saw Amad Diallo come on and score that magnificent header after a great pass by Bruno Fernandes in one of the only clear-cut chances we created on the night. And I say clear-cut, it was a difficult finish for Amad Diallo. But when you look at the players that we've got out, Anthony Martial is touch and go for this one. with him being taken off in that game. We've also got Edinson Cavani, who's a doubt for this one as well. Unlikely to be back in this match. Marcus Rashford should be back, and hopefully he is available, because without Marcus Rashford, without Cavani, we are struggling up top. Now, I do think, Martial probably took a knock. You'd expect that he should be available for this one. Or, even if it is a little bit sore, Oli will play him through. You're going to have to play through the pain if someone's missing him. It's not a muscle injury. It's not, a tight hamstring or anything like that. So hopefully he should be able to play in this one. And Edinson Cavani is a doubt again for Manchester United. And then obviously we've got the likes of Pogba, Mata, Donny van de Beek, who are also missing for Manchester United. The injuries are piling up. We've got 8 injured players at the minute. United have 8 injuries. Let me just look at those exact injuries now. Bring up Physio Room's injury table. And when we look at Manchester United, everyone's been talking about Liverpool's injuries, and obviously their injuries have been sustained throughout the season. Ours have kind of come in the last couple of weeks. So I'm not saying it's, comparable by any stretch, but they got 6 players out at the minute. United have 8 players out. Paul Pogba, we don't know when he's going to be back. He's not going to be back for this weekend, that's for sure. Juan Mata, he's out. He's not going to be back for this weekend, that's for sure. Donny van de Beek, he's out. He's not going to be back for this weekend. Edinson Cavani, he's not going to be back for this weekend. David De Gea, not going to be back for this weekend. So that's 5 players that are definitely out, that would bring some creativity, that would bring some goals to the team. And obviously David De Gea, who's our number 1 goalkeeper. Phil Jones, long-term absence. We know about him already. And then the 2 that could possibly play in this one, Marcus Rashford and Anthony Martial. On the 11th of March, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said, I hope Marcus is back for next Thursday in Milan. Fingers crossed he'll be available for Sunday. So he's keeping his fingers crossed about Sunday and the game against West Ham. Anthony Martial, he got a whack on his hip. This is what Oli said after the game against AC. Quite early in the first half. So it's another injury. But you'd expect him to be back for this game as well. So the injuries are absolutely piling up for Manchester United at the moment, which is a big problem. But with the players that we've got, we should still be able to get a performance in, and I'll show you my predicted 11 later on. I do think Martial and Rashford will be available for this one as well, or at least I hope so. So they might be appearing in my predicted 11, but we know that if Rashford isn't going to play on the left, you're probably going to see Daniel James there. If Anthony Martial doesn't play through the middle, you're probably going to see Mason Greenwood there through the middle if Marcus Rashford isn't available as well. Because you could then see Marcus Rashford play through the middle if he's available and Martial isn't. Daniel James on the left, Amad Diallo on the right, or Daniel James on the left, Rashford through the middle, Greenwood on the right, something like that. If Martial's fit and Rashford isn't, you could see Martial through the middle, Greenwood on the right, Daniel James on the left, or Amad on the right as well. Although probably not going to get to see Amad Diallo or Traore starting in this game. If some of those players are fit, you'd have to see both of them out probably to see him start. I would start him though, I would start him because we don't have balance on that right hand side. We don't have a natural winger. And look, if Martial's out, play Greenwood through the middle, play Amad on the right. If Martial's fit, play Amad on the right. Do you know what I mean? Just get a natural winger out there. He gives you that width. He gives you that trickery. He gives you that pace. Now, obviously, you're not going to expect him to start every single game. But after scoring a goal midweek, coming on for 45 minutes, it was a great goal as well. Good run, good finish. Play him in this game. What have you got to lose? What are the alternatives? Greenwood out of position, which, he scored a lot of goals from there last season. Not so many this season. Daniel James, where his natural position's on the left. And if Rashford or Martial are out, you're going to see Rashford go through the middle. Or, you're going to need to see Daniel James on the left. So I think Amad Diallo, for me, probably should be starting in this game. It's the perfect excuse to say, look, we've got injuries. But also, have a little bit of a look just to see if Amad is ready. Against West Ham, obviously they're a good side. But with their fullbacks, they're going to go high up the pitch. Their fullbacks go high up the pitch, so we should be able to find some space in behind them, and Amad Diallo could hopefully capitalise on that. The injuries that or the unavailabilities for West Ham, you got Arta Masuaku, who is out of this next game. Jesse Lingard obviously unable to play Man United. Ryan Fredericks is facing a late fitness test for the game against Manchester United. He's got a groin injury, but it was quoted as not being so serious. Touch and go for this one. Angelo Agbana has no return date yet, and he's not going to be available for this one. Andrei Yarmolenko, I don't think he's going to be available for this one, and nor is Darren Randolph. So those are the injuries for West Ham as well as Manchester United. So that's the team news right there. Obviously, who do you guys want to see start? Who do you want to see playing for Manchester United in this one? And do you agree with what I was saying about Amad Diallo starting in this one as well? Get your thoughts in, get your comments in, super chats. Make sure you're liking the video as well, sharing all of that stuff. And don't forget, later on, Stereo, if you haven't downloaded the app yet, go to stereo.com/AdamMcKola. The link is in the live chat. I'll be live later on today for about 40-45 minutes with Rory, discussing the top four race, discussing the Chelsea game, the United game, etc. And having a little chit chat with Rory, and you guys can probably get involved as well with your audio notes. So make sure you're checking that out. The link's there. Click the link to get involved with me and Rory later on Stereo. This is, of course, the Man United West Ham preview. And as always, on the preview, we will have my predicted 11. Now, this does require me just having to move a few things around, so just bear with us as I bring that up. There we go. That is my predicted 11 for this one. As I said, Martial being a hit knock. Rashford being left out of that AC Milan game. I think they'll be available for this one. Maybe it's more hope rather than expectation. But I would go Martial, Rashford, Bruno, Amad. If Martial's not available, Rashford through the middle, Greenwood or James come in. If both Martial and Rashford aren't available, you're going with James you're going with Greenwood, aren't you? So those are the alternatives to what you see there. But if available, I go Martial, Rashford, Bruno, Amad Diallo, Traore in the team as well. McTominay and Fred, the likely choice in that central midfield position. You know, no Pogba, no Donny van der Beek, Matic playing midweek. You'd expect to see that one. Shaw, Bailly, Maguire, Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Dean Henderson as well, who's going to get another start for Manchester United. So that is my predicted 11 for this game. Get your thoughts in the comments below as well, guys. Let us know your thoughts. We've got a super chat from Jerome. Thank you very much, Jerome, for getting involved. He says, going to have a young forward three. Will be a fun match to watch. West Ham are no slouches. We have to be in top gear. Cavani, if fit, with service. We got to be careful with those audios. Most definitely Sean. I reckon he'll play James over Amad. If Martial or Rashford aren't available, you play Amad. True. I'm going maybe with what I want to see rather than what we will see, maybe. Bill, the interview with Raval Morrison will be up in the international break. I was talking to the guys about when we're going to release that yesterday. So we'll get it all available, ready to go during the international break at the end of this month. So keep your eyes and ears peeled for that one. One of my favourite interviews that I've done. Sean's predicted team is Henderson, Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Lindelof, Shaw, McTominay, Fred, Rashford, Bruno, James, Mason, Greenwood. Start Amad if Rashford is out. Obviously Martial and Rashford are doubts for this one, guys. But I'm gone with the optimistic side and put them both in my team. If they're not going to be fit, you will see Mason Greenwood and Daniel James come in. And to be honest, if they are both fit, you probably won't see, as mentioned by some of you guys in the comments, Amad Diallo start. Maybe it's just me being more hopeful than anything. So that's my predicted 11 for the game. Manny Sokol's in the comments saying what's happened to DVB. Donny van der Beek has an injury, or at least that's what we've been told. Hopefully he'll be back soon and we can see him in a team. Because he is someone that's creative, and at this time when we've had injuries to Paul Pogba, we've needed to rest Bruno. You know, McTominay and Fred haven't quite been doing it in the creative sense, especially Fred. It would have been a good option to bring in. Obviously, we got to see him in that Liverpool game. I liked what I've seen at times. Obviously, you could argue about his fitness and all that, but I think he's a good player, and it was a shame we didn't get to see more of him, because I think he would have been a bit, a pretty good talent. Ratface with the super chat says, "Will I ever go on John Shin's channel?" Yeah, man, John's got my number. He can give me a shout. I chat to John Shin regularly. His sound. So yeah, John does a lot of stuff for us on Paddock, aka Devils, as well. Keith says midfield is a worry. Yeah, I'm not set on that McTominay Fred duo in midfield. When you look at the games against Man City away, I think it's a midfield that works. I think McTominay's done really well to add goals to his game this season and something a little bit more going forward. And I think they're both valuable members of the squad, but none of them are sixes. And if you get a proper six, you can play one in there, play a 4-3-3. And I think the 4-3-3 is the way to go for Manchester United coming up as we progress over the next couple of months and seasons. Getting proper number six in there. Be able to play Pogba, Bruno, Donny van der Beek, McTominay, and maybe even Fred as a rotation option, as the 2-8s ahead of a 6. I think it'd give us a little bit more stability. A good proper 6 as well would give that 2 centre halves, Bailly, Maguire maybe, unless we make a signing, unless Lindelof's the one or whoever. But a good 6 would give them a little bit more protection as well. When you're looking around, the likes of Thomas Partey, Wilfred Ndidi, those kind of players that can just give your defence a breather, give your defence a little bit more confidence. McTominay and Fred are great sometimes, but we have to play both of them. You can't ever play one of them as a 6. It just wouldn't work. So we need someone in there with a little bit more quality in the passing as well, because there's so many times Fred will win the ball, but then give the ball straight back because he hasn't got the quality in his passing. So we need to improve in that position for sure. Right wing as well is another position. Unless Ahmad's is he the one that's going to play there next season? Who knows how much he'll show us between now and the end of the campaign. But I definitely think that's a position we need to improve in. Get that number 7 shirt filled. Get a top quality player in there. We're always going to be linked with Jadon Sancho. But if it's not him, get somebody else in there, because we need a player on that right hand side to give us the balance. Rashford seems to have made that left wing spot his own. You need a proper winger on the other side to just give us that balance, give us that service, and give us that width as well. And then you'll see Bruno and Martial and whoever's playing up front through the middle looking a lot better as well when there's a bit more balance to our side. You always see Wan-Bissaka going down that right hand side, and there's no one making overlaps for him. There's no one really giving him that support, because whoever plays there will drift in central. Amad Diallo is a natural right winger, so he's going to come back, he's going to protect, he's going to be in sync with his fullback. Glenn said, I don't think we want to see McFred, but it's all we've got. Paul Jewett rather says, will Diallo play? I'm probably being a little bit hopeful, but maybe. Sean says, you'd love a Carrick or a Fletcher in this squad now. Yeah, those kind of Carrick would be quality, wouldn't he? In this team. Good Roy Keane as well. Oh man, Keano would be class. Keanos don't come along very often, though. Sam says he'd take Adama at right wing as a unit. I don't agree with the Adama Traore shouts, to be honest. They came about before, and I just don't think you get enough end product from him. I don't think you get enough out of him as a right winger. Yes, what you see sometimes with the skill and the strength and the pace and everything is great to see, but outside of that, I'm not really impressed with the output that you get from him, which has been shown. I don't think he's got a goal in the Premier League in a year or something ridiculous like that. So yeah, I wouldn't be a massive fan of Adama Traore, to be honest. He's just a hench Daniel James, isn't he? Ross is going for a 3-1 win to Manchester United. I'm not sure, about this one. This is a difficult game. Obviously, Jesse Lingard being out for them is a big miss. What score do I think it will be? I'd go for a tight one, you know. What was it in the cup? 1-0 United. I'd probably go for something similar to that, like a 1-0 Manchester United win, 2-1 kind of thing. Glenn's gone for a 4-2. Sean says the best moment of the Ahmad goal was the Bailly madness with the celebration. Jeremy said, I think Adama is a little hyped at the minute. Could turn it around next season though. Greg says Diallo's got to play. I reckon it will be 0-0. Hope I am wrong. How do we improve our midfield, says Ritwick. It's hard to improve when we haven't got anything. We've got Matic, McTominay and Fred, and they're all a muchness, aren't they? They're all the same kind of midfielder. We haven't got anything that can come in and change things. Donny van der Beek's out. Pogba's out. Struggling in that position with those players out. David's going for a 2-2 draw. Ross says if Newcastle got relegated, I'd take Alan St. Maximin. I'd rather that shout to Traore's shout. St. Maximin seems to have a little bit more end product to him. It's more fun to watch as well, I think, St. Maximin. So yeah. Too much pressure on Ahmad if he starts as Ritvick? I don't think so. He's not going to be starting every game. If he starts this game, he won't be starting the next game. So I'd give him a start. 1-0 United win, squeaky bum time for the last 10 minutes as normal, says Dave. We need a win, especially with Chelsea dropping points today. You look at Chelsea dropping points, 0-0 draw with Leeds. They're in 4th position, played a game more than us, 3 points behind. If we win this game, we have the same amount of games played and we will be 6 points clear of 4th place Chelsea. And we'll be... West Ham have a game in hand on us at the moment, but we'd be 9 points clear of them and they're in 5th. So, you know, a win here and we can really start to pull away from those teams in 4th and 5th. Everton at the moment, they're playing shortly. They're in 6th. They could move up to 5th position by the time we play next. But, you know, they win. Who have they got today? Burnley. You'd expect maybe they get a win in that game. They'd take over West Ham. But they're... How many points are Everton behind us? 8 points with a game in hand. So we need to keep winning. And a win for West Ham would take them 3 points behind us with a game in hand, which isn't a position you want to be in. Because then you're looking over your shoulder and you're thinking, shit, we got to hold on for top 4. We got to fight for top 4 rather than cementing your spot in 2nd place, which, you know, 2nd place, first loser and all that, but rather finish 2nd than 4th. Dara's gone 4-0 United, F it. Beef Bully says 1-0 Fernandez. West Ham fan here, we need this more, says Hammerman TV. You do need the victories as much as United, but even then, if you weren't to win this game, you win your game in hand on Chelsea and you're level on points with them. So it wouldn't be that bad in the end. Everton could potentially go a point above you. Spurs could go level on points with you. Liverpool would be 2 points behind you potentially, but you got a game in hand on Liverpool, so you'd still be in a decent position. And I'd argue United probably need West Ham aren't expecting to get top 4. They're put themselves in a great position and they could potentially do it. But there's a little less pressure on them to do this, which probably makes them a very, very dangerous team in this game. And when you look at the players that they've got, West Ham's side, full of talent. We've spoken about some of the players they're going to be missing. And obviously Lingard, Masuaku, Agbana, Randolph, Yarmolenko, Fredericks is a doubt. But when you look at the team that they've got, their team that beat Leeds 2-0 last time out. They had Antonio. Now Lingard's going to come out. Possibly see someone like Lanzini coming in. Bowen coming in potentially. But in Benrahma, Fornals, you got some top quality talent there. Bowen, dangerous player. Declan Rice, Souček. They got a good balance to the midfield. Some good attacking players, creative players, and Antonio can be a handful. as well in that forward position. He can get a crucial goal for them. I think it was it Man City he scored against, or was Spurs, where he scored a great bicycle kick kind of goal. I think he's a handful, and he's one of those strikers that even when he's not scoring, he's gonna contribute to the team, and he's gonna give the defenders a hard time. So, we need to be on it. Even without Jesse Lingard, this is a dangerous team to come up against. But hopefully, West Ham come out at us a little bit, and then open up. United find the gaps at the back. But a point here is a good result for West Ham too. So be interesting to see how they approach the game, how Ollie approaches the game, who starts. If Marshall and Rashford aren't fit enough to start, will we see Mason Greenwood, Daniel James, Amad Diallo, Traore, either side of Bruno Fernandes? That's looking like it. We're not going to see anybody but McTominay and Fred in midfield. I think Lindelof's a doubt for this one as well. He's felt a strain in his back, according to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And you'd expect Luke Shaw to come back in. So, yeah, man. As long as we have better luck than we did in front of goal against AC Milan, when you look at the misses from Harry Maguire and Daniel James, fingers crossed, better luck this time around, and we create a few more chances. Going to be a difficult game. I'm going for a 2-1 win to Manchester United. Get your predictions in the comments below. Make sure you're liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing. Keep it locked to AdamMcKola TV as well. We'll have reaction tomorrow. I'll be in the kickoff studio for the game. So make sure you're joining us. Make sure you're checking out what the Paddock lads are doing as well. We've got Premier League piss take coming up on Monday too. So hopefully it's going to be a good one with the United win to talk about, a Manchester United win. Anyway, see you in a bit.